keeping myself going. I know that you probably have as well, Jasmine.
Yes.
So right now I want to kind of start with an icebreaker because it is such kind of a hard topic to talk about. I want to know, are you really feeling any artist songs right now? What's keeping you going?
There's a few. I know there's this one song with Tony Braxton and the artist Her, and I just keep hearing it on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. I don't even know the name. That's how bad it is, but I just keep hearing it everywhere, and I'm just like, it's very sultry, it's very nice, it's very calming, especially like if you're just relaxing. Um, who else? I think Her's just been doing a lot. Like
Hmm.
the song that she just did called "Damage" is really nice.
Yeah.
Um, and that again is just playing, 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 and then she's on other songs with a whole bunch of features. Oh, so the song is "Gotta Move On" by Tony
Oh,
Braxton
I've
and Her.
heard that one.
Yes, it's just smooth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sometimes when I'm just relaxing or like getting in a meditation session, that's a nice song just to vibe to. But how about yourself?
Believe I never thought, you know what? I've always been a big like punk rock guy. But
Ooh.
Justin Bieber has been putting out some really
Yes,
good
right.
music.
You're right. You're right.
I
His
really
last
love
his
it.
last album was pretty good. I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow.
I have it on my workout playlist and everything. I love it. And
What songs from his are you like?
uh,
Wow, I didn't expect this.
Monster with Shawn Mendes was fantastic. That new one, I can't remember its name. It just came out.
Okay.
Um, Stronger, something like that. I don't know. It just came out a few days ago, but
A few days ago.
it
Okay.
came on my recommended, and I immediately downloaded it. And I never thought I'd do that with a Justin Bieber song, right? But I get excited when he has new stuff coming out.
Yeah, because I think he grew up from that like child vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where he's like, it was very like high schooly musical vibes, and now it's more of like a sophisticated, like I could relate to him and things kind of vibe now. I think just lived
yeah,
a
it's a
little bit of
lot.
life.
He's growing, right? He's
Yeah.
growing into his music. All right, awesome. I could talk about the growth of Justin Bieber all day, um, because I absolutely love the kid. But I'll start into my story a little bit, and I'll tell you a
Yes.
little bit about how motivation and COVID has kind of affected me. So, as a lot of people know, I've played hockey my whole life, and that involves a lot of team training. So uh, I'm used to being in the locker room with teammates. I'm used to being in constant touch with teammates, and kind of just growing as an athlete with my team. So obviously with COVID, I can't do that. We all have to be apart from each other. And I found myself, especially as soon as the winter started, my workouts were getting a little shorter, and I just didn't want to go out and work out. I have a space heater and everything. It wasn't that it was too cold. I didn't feel like it because I was starting to feel a little bit of the burnout of having to work out alone and not having my teammates beside me to work out with me. Um, so I was starting to feel that all winter, and I wasn't really moving. I started to play, and I love my video games. They're my favorite reward. But I was starting to play them all the time.
Oh no.
I know, even when I was like supposed to be like making dinner or something, I'd be like, oh, to my partner, I'd be like, oh, can you make dinner? I've got to play this game. Like I was playing my games all the time. And I didn't realize that that was me struggling to find the motivation without my teammates. So we've kind of found a nice way. I'm actually in contact with a few of my teammates
Oh, cool.
over the internet. So we've been talking, and that's been nice. It's just I've started playing with a new team over COVID, so I haven't been able to get to know any of them in person. So it's nice to be able to know them virtually. And that's helped me stay motivated too, because I keep thinking about what's going to happen after this is all over and getting back to normal. And I want to be in as good shape possible so I can be as good as I can on the ice as soon as possible. So that's been helping me stay motivated, and also just using my video games in moderation. So I'll go work out, and then I'll do a day at work, and then I'll play my video games instead of
That's
playing
a
my
nice
video games,
routine.
going to work, and then playing my
Yeah.
video games. Um, so yeah, it's a little bit of moderation for me, and I've always had issues with kind of rewarding myself too much. Um,
I get
I've
that.
always said I kind of do one thing and reward myself with three things. And that's been a balance too, because I find
Yeah.
that especially during this time, I want to just buy myself stuff to reward myself, even if it's just that I had a bad day. I want to hop on like a website and be like, oh, I I need this, I can buy this,
I
but
think it's because it's so convenient now, right? Where it's just
yeah,
like you don't have to go to the store and line up. You can just click a button and then it just comes to you. So you don't keep track of like the hoarding. You know what I mean?
and I have a lot of stuff now just because I haven't kept track of it. But I think like trying to reinforce that like everything in moderation for me, even
Yes.
training, because sometimes I go overboard in training just to try and get ahead and try and stay motivated. But I have to give my body a break and my mind a break, and all sorts of stuff like that. And with that, yeah, so that's a little bit about how it's affected me. It's been difficult, but I'm
Yeah.
learning with this new world. I want to know about your story a little bit.
Yeah, well, you made such great points there of just like finding a balance. And in my life, that's nothing short of the truth. So right now, I could definitely say staying motivated or just how am I juggling? So for everyone out there, I am a new mommy. I have a 3-month-old son, and with that comes its challenges, of course. Like many people are saying, like there's a lot of COVID babies, and I'm one of those individuals where I was pregnant through the whole episode of COVID, and even now, and navigating the world with a baby and a pandemic simultaneously is a little stressful because we're always inside. And sometimes he gets very fussy because
Mhm.
he loves outdoors. So that's one side of it. And also juggling work, and my partner is in film school as well. So
Oh wow!
so we're like always trying to navigate spaces of who gets the morning shift, feed the baby, put him down. Okay, who has class? Okay, you go out there, it's quiet, I'll do this. So it's a lot of navigating through like our living room, bedroom spaces to really just find a space where we can concentrate and do our work and schoolwork as well as, remain as a family. So I can definitely say juggling is a major thing. Like you said, just making time for everything, but also making time for you in that whole equation. And for
Mhm.
me, that's why I take just doing some early morning yoga or taking some time to woosah. Like you said, reward yourself with like a
Mhm.
Netflix show or a video game. Just to be like, ooh, like I got through the day, I accomplished everything on my list. Let me just like relax now. And that's how I've really been maneuvering through because yes, it's been hard where some days I'm just totally spent. I'm like, I'm not cooking. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't shower today. I'm gonna just try to squeeze one in late, like midnight, because like it feels like the day gets away from you. So yeah, I completely agree with you on so many levels. So for me, that's how now I really try to fit me time in those increments when I know schedules are overlapping with my son and with my partner, and I know, okay, I have an hour or 2 hours downtime that I
Mhm.
can just sit or, try to be active in those moments because it really, really does make a difference.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, like I cannot even imagine. Like I find it difficult enough just like trying to manage my own household without a brand new baby involved in the picture. Like I can't imagine having a brand new kid. So it's kudos to you.
Thank you.
I want to also send this out to the audience. I want to know, how's this new wave of lockdown affecting you now, especially now that we heard today that we are getting further measures. Um,
Yes.
How are you feeling about that? Are you feeling nervous? Do you think it'll affect your motivation a bit more, a bit less?
I guess I would say not so much nervous, but it's just like with obviously more restrictions, you have to find other like outlets within your home. And I know for me, I love the outdoors. Like how you express that you play hockey. I'm a major winter sports person. I love tobogganing, like hot chocolate, like sitting in the snow,
Oh,
play
that's
all the nice things. And one of the things I always do is skate. Every year I get my skates, I go out to a rink and just skate for hours. And now I'm just seeing that people, just in my community, people feel so claustrophobic in their home spaces that like the ice rink is full. Like everyone's out at the same time with their skates, thinking like, "Hey, I just want to get a night skate in," and it's just like that's everybody's thought process. And I feel like half of me is just like I have to find other um, modes for me to I guess you'd say express myself, but also to combat that anxiety. Because I know as more lockdown measures happen, there are a lot more restrictions of going out, where you can go, and things of that nature.
Mhm.
So I think for me, just personally, just finding other outlets that I can like utilize in my space at home.
Yeah, and Lolita said very uncertain times, just taking it day by day. That's something I've been doing too, and it really helps me just not trying to think too far in the future, because it is uncertain times, right? We don't know
Yes.
what's next. And I think just kind of living in the moment. I think especially talking to my friends on Messenger and on Skype has really helped because it gives me some sense of normalcy. Um,
Yeah.
and it really does. It motivates me to kind of do stuff, you know, reach,
Yeah.
make those connections because it is really important, especially now.
Yeah.
It is, a lot of people are scared by the additional measures.
And I think for me, it's just like, I remember all the times like friends asked me to like hang out, and I was always like, yeah, next time, next time. And now I'm just like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have just like gone. You know what I mean? But now, like you said, like just connecting with people, whether it be through FaceTime or Zoom, um, and just having new ways of connecting, of games nights and different things like that, and just combos and jokes. And I know a friend of mine does like a Zoom like sip and chat, so everyone's like drinking and like
That's
just having a
awesome.
great time. Yeah, just chatting about life, because it's just like it's been so long since they could physically connect, right? And have their like Sunday circles and different things of that nature. So I completely understand, and I agree with you of just trying to make the best out of like the current present, because the future is so far away to try to like piece it together right now.
Yeah, and I know even for me, like I remember there were times where I canceled on my friends, and this whole time I've been thinking, oh, I
Mhm.
shouldn't have canceled on them, but it's we no one knew this was coming,
Yeah,
what's ahead, but there will be normal times again. That's the important thing, and
yeah.
memories aren't gone forever. So Swoby said, video calls have kept me going. Me too, 100%.
Yes.
Did anything like this over the holidays, but my family had like a giant Zoom like New Year's party from like 10
Oh wow.
people. And
Oh wow.
yeah, that was nice because we obviously couldn't see each other on New Year's. I live in a different house. So we just got together on video, and
And
rang.
celebrated. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Same thing with my family, and a lot of my extended families in the States actually. So like Canada is just like no go over here for a lot of Americans. So it was just like even for my son and my having a baby shower for him, they couldn't come in the height of COVID like in the summertime. So it was a thing of virtual, where a lot of people are having ceremonies and really big moments like graduations, via virtual ways. So I completely understand of just making those adjustments.
Yeah, it's been a new world, but I find it's brought out a lot of the best in people, which is really
Yes.
cool to watch. So we've got a few more comments. I've been trying to find the positives, like how I've been able to spend more time with people far away from me on Zoom. Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great positive.
Yes.
Also,
Because there's a
all,
lot of people that I know they're so far away, and it's just like I've always like, I'm gonna make the time to go like drive out, go fly out, and now it's just a thing of like, hey, are you free for a call? You know what I mean?
I remember like there's so many people who can't afford to go and see their extended family in different areas, but
Yeah.
now like this is the norm. There's no pressure to have to spend the money, and like, hey, let's just Zoom, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Also, having all this extra time, I've been taping it more into my creativity, starting with painting and DIY projects. That's awesome.
Ooh. Yes, I can completely agree. I know for me, picking back up painting was a great soother. And now that I have my son where he can be engaged because he just likes all the colors, it's definitely a fun thing to do. And getting back into drumming and singing, for a long time, like I stopped and was just kind of not motivated, like at all, to even sing or do traditional songs. And like just now feeling just like it's necessary just for my own mental health, my own wellness to just sing for myself and have that medicine for me, you know?
Yeah, and even can relate, not on a the same level, but sorry, I'm also a drummer, and the rhythm can absolutely be soothing. It gets to your heart, it gets to your soul, it gets to your brain, and it really, really is something special. So I can relate on a level of
Yes.
how special the drumming truly
Yes.
is. All right, so what are some tools that you've been using when you're feeling really? Because I know I've been feeling overwhelmed a
Mhm.
lot of the time. Um, I'm not sure if you've been feeling super overwhelmed as well, but
Yes.
you, what are some tools that you found super helpful?
Well, I know like it may be super like cliche, but like just taking a nap, like just like turning off the lights, closing the curtains, and just like taking a nap. And I don't think people understand the power there is in just resting your body and resting your mind for whether it be like half an hour, just to give your body a reset and then get back up and then get to work or go work out or go cook.
Mm,
Um, it goes without saying, and I know for me that was one thing that I was just trying to like squeeze all the juice out of all the hours in the day, and I'd find myself super, super exhausted the next day, even after I slept, because it was just like not getting enough sleep. So that's one thing that I would say. The second would definitely be meditation and yoga.
mm,
Both things are super grounding, where it's just quiet. Sometimes I play some instrumentals or like ocean sounds and light some candles that are infused with like herbs and different things of that nature. And the aroma itself just like calms you. And sometimes I really just do those early in the morning where I can just reset and maybe like relax, have a bath, and start my day,
mhm.
especially when I have really busy days. And last but not least, like music, like we just spoke about drumming, singing, listening to some amazing songs, and that just lift your spirits, to be honest. So those would be for me the three things that I really gravitate to really boost me. How about yourself?
Wow. Yeah, I'm very similar. I for
Mhm.
me it's definitely I have an elliptical machine in my garage and I love to just run for endless amounts of
Oh, wow.
um
Yeah.
I don't know, even just a slow pace it makes me feel I like the rhythm, I think. For me a lot
Yeah.
of my life is with the rhythm, right? And that goes into music. I love drumming. I love listening to music. I love learning new songs on my drums. Um, and that really soothes my soul. And it also,
Yeah.
I find it's a good reward after I'm done work. I'm like, okay, I'll get all my work done and then I'll go play my drums for an hour or two.
Yeah.
And it soothes me and it's a reward system. So it's good self care as well. Music is
Yes.
self care.
I
Um,
agree.
oh, what's another thing I've been doing? I think just trying to stay connected, uh,
Mm.
trying to stay up to date with my family and friends. I'm not the best at it sometimes,
I
especially
get that.
I've been known to neglect the phone call to my mother a few times, but I've been doing my best to try and stay up to date, especially now because
Yeah.
my whole kind of core family live in the same household, so I can keep
Okay.
like on all of them at once.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been definitely trying to work on that a little bit and be a bit more mindful because, like I said, I am noticing that I did kind of take stuff for granted before this all
Mm,
happened and my relationships for granted, and I don't want to do that. Moving on, you know.
I hear you. Yeah, just being more intentional. And I think just with the climate of just understanding how things change so quickly and just taking time to sometimes just even check in and just
Yeah,
see how someone's doing is like really huge.
yeah. So we've got a couple more comments. Naps are such a great way to do self care. They're one of my favorite
Yeah.
ways.
I
Um,
really enjoy naps. I think it's like when you grow up, you think back to when you were in like kindergarten and those times where like you had to have scheduled naps and you're just like, why did why did that work so well when I was younger? And then now that you're like an adult, you're like, I see why nap time is necessary.
it's a reset time. Like you have a time to just have a clean slate. You can have a
Yeah.
nap, wake up and be like, okay, breathe. It's a
Mhm.
new start. It's really I've been starting my mornings with motivational speeches and positive
Yeah.
affirmations. Motivated first thing in the morning. Yes, yoga and meditation. So amazing for mind and body. Yes. That is a lot in one, but all of them, yes. Um, so how, especially the positive affirmations.
Yeah, I like that one. Yes. I agree on that one. The affirmations are huge. I think even now to even self motivate is like saying those key phrases that uplift you or that really switch around your day. Because I know sometimes you can just get up and you're just like lethargic and you're like, I don't, not today. And it's just like that repetitiveness of just like today I'm going to be awesome. I'm going to send those emails. I'm productive. It really helps. It really helps. And that's just like ones I use for myself. But it honestly, it really helps you to change your perspective on changing things from being like a dread or like, oh, it's too hard to I'm capable of doing it. I have enough energy to do it. And when you complete it, you just feel so much better. So I totally vote for affirmations, especially throughout the day.
And it's interesting. When I was working out, I noticed when I was telling myself negative stuff like, oh, stop being lazy, just run faster, run for 10 minutes long, stop being lazy. I was in agony, but as soon as I'm like, good job, like you've got this, 10 more
You get
minutes,
it.
you can do it. You can get through anything
Mm-hmm.
wrong, you're tough. Like it didn't hurt nearly as badly as it did when I was telling myself the negative stuff. So there's something to positive affirmation.
Yes. It pushes you past that wall. I definitely where you think like you can't, and then you push yourself, and you're like, oh, wow, I have the capabilities to go further. So, yeah,
Got
whoever said
another
that could.
another lover in the comments too. Naps are the best with hard eyes. A there are a lot of people who value naps, and that's good because like you said, remember when we were kids and it,
Yeah. Because we used to dread it, and they were just like, "Why do we need naps?" And then as adults, you just realize, like, wow, naps were so crucial to like my whole day progressing and getting my second wind and um, just getting more energy to fulfill the rest of my day. And I think as adults, we kind of, I guess, want to accomplish so much in the day and just keep going and going and going. And sometimes we don't pay attention to our bodies burning out and needing time to reset. So
yeah,
yeah.
I completely agree. And I think especially like we don't give ourselves enough slack when it comes to napping. We sometimes
Yeah.
need to reset. It's okay to fall asleep sometimes. Be awake all the time.
Yeah. Because I think it's like a negative connotation with like sleep means like you're not productive or you're wasting time when it's really like recharging a battery. Like when you take a nap, you're actually giving your body time to generate new ideas, fresh energy so you can go back with like new set of eyes to work and to do what you have to do. So I
Hmm.
think it's like that mindset behind napping, not being productive.
Yeah, yeah, I always find myself to be more productive after I nap.
Yeah.
I thought, right? Oh, yeah, no, it's really interesting. And I think like there are coping tools that people don't even think are coping tools, like napping. Especially like I I just talk with my partner sometimes about nothing relevant, just about
Hmm.
stuff in our lives, and that really is a great form of self-care to me
Yeah.
because it's just someone who cares about me and listening to something that
Yeah.
I and it's helped me a lot throughout this, knowing that there is someone who is listening to me and wants to. This doesn't even have to be a partner. It can be a friend. It can be a family member. Like it can be anyone. But having just a person who is
Yeah.
willing to talk, even when you don't.
Yeah. Or even there to connect with. Like I know with me and my partner sometimes we have like our nightly check-ins or daily check-ins, where we either go for a ride or we just sit and we just chat and be like, hey, you know what?
Hmm.
How's your day? Like, Bill, catch me up. What did I miss? You know what I mean? As our days are busy and we're in two different schedules. So there's a lot to just connecting, even that form of self care with your partner, um, to reconnect and just to love on each other and just be like, hey, I care about you and I want to hold space for you. Because not all
Hmm.
the time, those conversations are like happy, but sometimes you're overwhelmed and you need a safe space to unload and just to feel safe.
Hmm. For sure. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's important to just know that there are people who want to be there for you as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how have you noticed yourself kind of shifting during this time? How has your mind frame kind of swapped, I guess?
Um, I think since the pandemic, I think at the beginning I was very a lot of anxiety, where it's just like what's happening, what this, that, and all these different things. And I found it hard to very like just concentrate of like, okay, what are my goals that I set for this year and what are things that I like want to do. But now I can definitely say my mindset is more focused, more linear, where I feel capable of seizing the day, seizing the time, less overwhelmed in the sense of just anxiety of just like what is in the future, where my mind is shifted to more of like present. Let me enjoy it now. Let me enjoy these type of conversations and these moments because I want to retain that and soak in all that energy currently than have my mind wander far away and miss these moments. So I would say that's how I feel right now, more centered in the present moments. How about yourself?
It's interesting. I'm the same way. I feel very down right now, I think. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed like I'm finding myself taking more time when I need it. I'm not afraid
Yeah.
to ask for time now. Um, I'm not afraid to ask for what I want now, and I think the pandemic's really taught me that.
Yeah.
Like you need to just be upfront and forward and honest with yourself and with everyone around you. And it makes life a lot easier. And that's helped me stay motivated is just keeping myself on track, and just discovering more about myself as a person. Um, I think that's something that's really positive is I've gotten to learn so much about who I am throughout this. Negative, positive, good, bad, ugly type deal.
Yeah.
But everything is uniquely me, and that's been really neat to discover throughout this. So I think that's kept me motivated is just a constant kind of journey to understand myself and those around me,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yes, it does, and I completely agree because it's an awakening because in these types of like high stress or high anxiety moments, you kind of find your strength. You find the things that really, fortify you and the things that, cause you to break apart and you know where to strengthen and where you already know that you can use or pull from that strength. So I completely agree and I think you just said it very beautifully.
Oh, there are tons of more nap lovers in the comments. And then I think the general understanding that this time is hard for everyone has helped. I agree. That's really helped me, knowing that I'm not alone in this and I'm not alone in what I'm feeling right now.
Mhm.
Um, and the fact that I'm going to have bad days and everyone else is going to have bad, you know?
I think it alleviates the stress because I think like at the beginning of the pandemic, like my mindset was so like me, like I'm so overwhelmed, like this is only happening to me, like what am I gonna do? Until I started having conversations with others, and they were just like, "Hey, like we're all in the same boat." Yeah, I felt like I wasn't productive in 2020. Like, don't stress. Like you're here. You're making like. And it's like that's when I just kind of exhaled. Like, wow, like human experience. We're all having that human experience of just like relax. You don't be so hard on yourself and
Yeah.
take it one day at a time, like someone said in the comments. Like it's really that type of journey where you make peace with the present and you take it one day at a time. So I completely agree on that front.
Yeah. And it's really like you said, it's one day at a time and everyone can only take it one day at a time, which
At a
is,
time, yeah.
it's helpful to know that we're not alone.
Yeah, it feels so comforting to know that other people have shared experience and they're there to support you. And you can also like make it a sounding board where people can weigh in and be like, "Hey, I feel the same thing. Let's connect. Let's talk about it." You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that
Well,
helps.
once I accepted the new normal, I was able to rebuild my routine. Me as well. As soon as I realized, okay, this is how it's for a while. This is what I'm going to do with my life right now.
Hmm. I agree.
As High School Musical said, we're all in this together. Yeah, that was that's a fun fact about me. I had a High School Musical poster in my
Oh.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was a huge fan of High School Musical, specifically Zac Efron, and it was annoyingly stupid how many times I watched it over and over again. And then when they came up with like the second one, I was just like, oh my gosh, wow. And I just binge watched them like over and over again because I just love the songs. I think I just love musicals in general,
I
but
love you.
um, I was a huge fan.
We're gonna have to discuss musicals at some point.
I
Oh,
love musicals.
me too. I everyone who's been in the organization for a while knows I did like high school.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think musicals are like there's movies and then there's musical movies.
Mhm.
And it's like it's just a sprinkle of whimsy like every like 15 or 20 minutes where they break out in song. I think that's what I really enjoy.
It's almost like magic because you know what's coming, but every
Yes.
song hits, it's like, oh, this is so magical.
Yes.
No, there. I think so cool about that. I'll have to share some of my favorites with you sometime.
For sure.
But yeah, I had it on DVD. I had it on DVD.
So you're a fan as well.
Oh yeah,
Fellow fan.
I think everyone was a fan of High School Musical. Honestly, I don't think you can't not be. It's the ultimate.
Yeah. It's an ultimate like I think if you're born in that era and you understood like just like how high school went, you
Mm-hmm.
wish that your high school experience was like close to High School Musical.
Oh gosh, yeah. I honestly, it was weird because my friends always said I was a lot like Zac Efron's character because I was always in musicals, but I was
Oh
so I
wow.
felt that connection as a teenager. I'm like, oh, this cool guy can be in musicals too and play sports. So I think that was cool. It was kind of breaking that boundary as well, which
Yes,
that wasn't really a thing when that movie came out. It was very
exactly.
separate.
Also, the show Glee. That for me, I was like almost done high school by that point, but I just wish I wish we had like like choir and things of that nature. I was a part of like my choir and drama club, but it's just like seeing that Glee like kind of broke boundaries
Mm.
that was never discussed of like high school experiences was like huge for me, even wrapping up high school around that time.
I'm really excited to see what comes out of TV after the pandemic is over and like
Yeah.
stories that'll be told through TV and stuff like that. It should be.
Yes. Yeah, I know there's a lot of even Canadian content coming out on Netflix that discusses like a lot of immigrant stories on how navigation of COVID and like immigrating to Canada during that time.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm excited to see like that those kind of films. I think coming out this year, later this year,
Hmm.
to Netflix. So yeah, I think it would be really amazing just to take in other people's story on those levels.
Yeah, I'm a big documentary nerd as well, so I'll be watching all the documentaries that come out.
Yeah,
Uh, Lolita said yes, the post-pandemic stories will be very interesting. Yeah, because as we said, everyone's going through the same thing but experiencing it completely
differently. Yeah.
Yes, it
like you
does.
experiencing
I love you, Legend.
it anyway, right?
Yeah.
I love Legend.
Like I said, I can't even
Oh,
imagine.
man.
Um,
Those are nice.
and our experiences won't be the same even
Those
at
are nice.
the same moment.
I hear you. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what comes out of this creatively, especially. I've noticed the music already coming out of the pandemic.
Yes.
Incredible. Um, and that's something I've staying helped me stay motivated too. Is all these artists are going through the same thing, and they're great,
Yes.
thriving. They're making great music. They're making
Mhm.
cool songs. You know.
And I think it's just the climate of finding a way to pivot, to still stay authentic to you, but finding a way to deliver your message in a different way. Because I know a lot of artists, they can't do concerts, they can't do tours, but
Hmm.
they're still finding ways to connect with their audiences and keep their mental health, you know? So I totally agree of just like seeing so many artists and creatives pivot from what they're usually accustomed to creating like, say, like TikTok and creating their content or like, you know, different modes of media to get their messages across now. It's really fascinating to see.
Yeah, yeah. I've loved it. My favorite thing has been the meme. They make me feel better. Love sharing with friends. Me too. That's one of my favorite things. Do chats with my friends, and I love sharing memes.
Memes, oh my gosh.
We have like an entire like pages of
Like chat and it's just like memes.
yeah. It's they're so funny some of them, but you got to be careful with them because some communities like you can get into some really bad memes and
Oh,
yeah,
like in like group communities. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I
yeah.
usually It's usually my brother that usually sends me. It's like I guess his love language to really send me memes on a regular basis. So he populates like my like WhatsApp with just memes that he finds that are funny. So I think there's a lot of people out there that may be their love language to send you constant memes that they find, and
That
I've come to just accept it.
yeah, I do that with my friends. Sometimes I'll send them like in a row, and I know they're not reading them, but I'm like, I'm sending you this, never mind.
just in case, just in case they browse when they're bored.
Yeah, yeah. So, I also want to talk about the fundraiser that we are having. Really,
Yes.
so we are having an open mic, on the 22nd, so it's coming up really quickly.
In like
Um,
next a week and a half ish.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like right around the corner.
So the link is in the link tree in our profile. Um, it's a ticket fly event. The tickets are $5, but there's a chance of winning 100, which is really cool.
Really cool.
Uh,
Yeah.
and thank you so much, Bella. Let's talk for this. Like it's super
Thank
appreciated.
you.
Well, so much in a creative, cool way. Um, as everyone knows, I love creating so much. So again, thank you. It's amazing to have Bellet's talk on our side for that fundraiser as well, and helping us express mental wellness and mental health awareness in a creative way.
Yes.
So I really encourage you to join that. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really
Me
looking
too.
forward to hearing all the voices. I'm sure you are as well.
Yes, there's so many great performers. I know we have Dwayne Morgan, and he
Mm,
performed so many places in the city. He performed for former President Barack Obama,
mm,
and he is amazing. just his power and the way he delivers his messages. And he's going to be performing. He's such a treat, and a lot of other people from his community. So, if you're interested in performing, I would definitely contact and check the link in the chat and connect with us, because I'm excited to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, it'll be in bio. It's gonna be a great. There's so many, even artists that you don't know yet that could
Yeah,
be favorite artists. That's the coolest thing about open mics.
yeah,
And whenever I was performing, I loved open mics because I got to hear some of my new favorite artists that I didn't.
yes. You didn't know, yeah. And I think that's the best way, and just to be able to, for Bellet's talk, to just support YouthSpeak and support us as speakers to put on something like this is amazing, because it gives opportunities for youth to give their voice in a different aspect, like you said, in a creative way. And we're so fortunate to be able to do so. So
And
thank you.
it's gonna be a great night to watch.
Yeah.
Know some amazing performers and some amazing words and be motivated. Really, I know I need the uplifting. I know I need the motivation. Little bump. So it's a great way to kind of stay motivated. Again, the ticket will be in the link tree, and it's only $5. So it's really as much as a Starbucks coffee. It's really not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so I'm really excited. I know you are. Lolita as well said really looking forward to it. Need some entertainment.
Yeah.
Word. I love spoken word too. I'm not good at it, but I love the art form in it.
Yes, the art form is beautiful, especially when people just, tell their experiences. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. So with that, thank you so much, Jasmine. It's been
Thank you, Alex.
we have had so much fun on this one. Honestly, I've loved the discussion. I'm excited to discuss some musicals that I'm gonna share with you.
Yeah.
And we will be back same time, same place next week at 8 o'clock. We will see you then. I'm looking forward to it, and thank you so much again.
Alrighty.
I'm looking forward to on the Instagram Live, and yeah, I hope you have a great rest of the night, and I hope everyone watching has a great rest of the night. If you're just arriving, be posted, please check it out. It was thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Alex. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.